partner, Robin Breen. Her strengths are my weaknesses and vice versa.
Let's see, working with Adam is always an amazing experience for me through the years. I've worked on the last 5 tool videos, and starting around Stinkfist. And every single time he always says, you know, this time I want to take it further than the last one and just push it and do something amazing, and he really, really does. And I think that on this project in particular, it was, you know, creating a completely all CGI video was taking it way further than anything we've ever done together. You know, we don't have the luxury with this one of shooting live action, and even on stop motion of shooting several different takes, several different ideas or different camera angles. We really had to be locked in about the ideas and, you know, the cut, everything, which was a totally different process. But at the same time, it was interesting because he could take any ideas that he's had way further than he's been able to before, because in a CGI world, pretty much anything is possible, which is the great thing about it. And along with Alex Gray, that ended up being an incredible process. And I think also working with Alex Gray has been very exciting. He is kind of like has this childlike enthusiasm to be around, but extremely articulate, extremely artistic, and watching him make one of his paintings come alive and be able to go into one of his paintings was one of the most exciting things about this video. And, you know, you just wouldn't be able to do that without doing it CGI.
So I first met Adam several years ago on the Schism video. We were helping him out doing some visual effects for that, since those, you know, obviously those videos are mostly live action and or stop motion. And then since then, become friends with Adam, and we've worked on many of his videos in different print packaging and DVD packaging since then. And then last year, he came to us talking about he wanted to do something different, a fully CG video, which is, you know, a very ambitious project, especially since Tool songs are of the longer length. And it was just a cool thing. It was basically trying to figure out how do we take what was normally done, you know, what you couldn't do in stop motion or live action because of the type of way the characters are designed, and it's a different type of art, and, you know, bringing Alex Gray's art to into like the real world, and it was a very complicated process. And that was one of the interesting things with sitting down with Adam, figuring out how do we actually get the project to work, how do we design everything, how do we build the team, because, you know, we're doing that much CG, it's, you know, it's a lot of stuff, you know, and it's a very ambitious project to take on. So what we had to do is basically break down the project in a couple different phases. From first, it was the storyboards and character designs, trying to figure out what's the cast of characters. Then we had to start figuring out what was the flow of the video. How much was the X character, how much was the Spectres, how much of the video was going to be the Alex Gray part, and then the digital freakout scene. And then from there, we started cutting in Final Cut, started kind of, you know, bringing the project together editorially, while at the same time we were building all the 3D assets for all the characters and creatures. And then from there, we started also working with a concept designer who was helping work with Adam to figure out, like, what's the look of the video. Because that's one of the hard things on a project like this is since it's almost pure art, we don't, you know, we're starting with nothing. You know, you have absolutely nothing, and you're trying to make something out of it. So the question is, at what point do you stop? You know, because eventually you have to kind of aim the compass somewhere, and then say, like, this is the direction we want to go. This is where we need to be. And you know, that's one of the real challenges when you're doing a long art piece like this is, you know, trying to get everything focused, keeping it together, you know, figuring out where we need to be, and then, you know, starting to build that basically. You know, it's kind of like building a body. You first have to start with the bones, like, you know, what's the rough edit, what's the basic concept and timing. Then you got to start building in all the organs and everything, which would be kind of like the characters, the look of things. And then you have to kind of end with, you know, basically your skin, which is the final look what's the color correction, how's the, you know, like all the 2D post-processing that we do to try to give the video a different type of style.
Adam wanted to call me a co-director on this film project, and I was very honored to that he thinks of it that way. I know the majority of the film is really Adam's direction here, but we did work together from well, really a seminal part of getting the Vicarious visuals and everything together. I'll never forget the times we spent together, just like, seemed like 24 hours a day working on little drawings and saying, hey, what do you think of this? You know, and then it's like, wow, that's cool, you know, and then and we were trying to resolve stuff about, well, how do we work with the bug, you know, and what does that look like? And so we were doing lots of drawings of that, and it was really amazingly fun to work together, and it was grueling. It was really exciting too. Adam was really introducing me to the process of doing the whole storyboard and how do you create something like this. It's a very kind of dream logic that I think Adam brings into his films. And he's a masterful designer of mood and of, you know, making the most bizarre and unsettling kinds of images appear natural. And so this is the visualization of the world that that X is finds himself in. To me, you know, it has resonance with a very apocalyptic kind of world, obviously. And so Adam didn't want everything to be totally obvious with this, and so it had to maintain its dream integrity. And I think that that's been a great benefit of this. It is another dimension. It is another world. It's a world of the imagination that has been woven so skillfully by so many artists, really. The folks at Hydraulics have been just incredible. And for us to be able to meld our views of reality and you know, creating this X character and all the elements that it would have was really exciting.
So I started originally working on the video at a very early stage when it was just you know, storyboards. Adam kind of came to me with these little thumbnail storyboards that he put together, these incredibly clear and meticulous illustrations of what he wanted, like what he visualized. And I basically, my responsibility was to come up with concepts that would kind of establish a visual look based off of what, you know, he visioned or what he had in mind. On top of the concept work, I'm also working on a matte painting for the end of the music video. It's basically a realistic representation of one of Alex Gray's paintings of, it's like kind of like a shot of the Earth from space looking down, and it shows this kind of eye inside the clouds. And there's kind of this, you know, swirling storm, kind of fits with the whole spiral motif.
I came into the process pretty much from the beginning because with a CG project like this, it always involves kind of editing something together before any of the work really gets, the main body of work gets done, which is planning, in the planning phase. In commercials, they call it an animatic, and typically they'll take storyboards, which have been around for years and years, and they do this for movies and videos too, to basically take the duration of the time that you know the program is going to be, which is the length of the song, and then time out all the storyboards to that length, and just to get kind of a basic idea of how it's going to feel and what sort of shots are going to work next to each other, and what are the moments that you have to hit in the song. It was interesting.